Crypto20 is the portal. Now this I think is brilliant. It gives you live details about how the actual fund's building. Obviously they're over 10% on Bitcoin, which will be rebalanced, but it shows how the net asset value is changing, how the fund holdings are sitting at the present moment of time. I think that's brilliant. I think that's really professional, really well put together, and I think with everything that I have actually seen, I think it looks brilliant. Yeah, very impressed with that. I think lastly, things just to really discuss. The team are pretty much out of South Africa. Daniel is leading the team. One of the key things I like to look at is the actual person in charge, the person who's looking after the blockchain. It's always always nice to see some decent advisors on board. Yeah, I think it looks like that this team haven't come up with a similar project previously. It doesn't particularly worry me. I don't think it's really that important that they've got someone with a few people with really good IT backgrounds. I think Matthew's in charge of the blockchain. To be honest with you, there isn't actually going to be much blockchain development required because this isn't a platform. It is literally a closed-ended investment. So I'm quite happy. I think there's no warning signs there for me. They've also got some really good advisors as well. So if you go through and look at the team, John's very well known within the crypto world, and I'm sure I don't know the other advisors very well, but I think that's a really good team. I understand why a lot of people don't go through the white paper because it is particularly boring, but there's a lot of useful information. But also you can, through reading the white paper, establish if there's any holes, and there were a couple which weren't groundbreaking, but I think it's worth going through them. Now, key thing is the Crypto20 token gives you access to the top 20 cryptos. Now, excuse me, the key thing really to take away from it is there is a cap on the maximum exposure any one coin can hold. So the cap is actually 10%, which you can see just here. Now, what will happen is as they review the fund on a weekly basis, they will look to start selling coins. So where you got Bitcoin, currently about 20% of the fund, they'll sell half the Bitcoin and then spread that across the other coins as the allocation sees fit. The fund is based in Cayman, which is quite useful. A lot of companies base themselves offshore, not purely for tax reasons, but also regulation. A lot of these offshore jurisdictions are a lot more friendly to setting up companies. Yeah, it's all straightforward. The other big selling point of this particular fund is that it's got an ongoing cost of 0.5% per annum. Now, with specialist funds in the stocks and share world, they can be as high as 3%. I know that Crypto20 highlight this in other crypto tracker funds, so I think 0.5% is quite fair. One of the questions I did ask of the team were how this was going to be taken, because if you were to take it annually, then that could have a detrimental impact on the actual fund. But they have actually clarified that they're actually going to look to take that 0.5% every month, the rebalancing period, which is perfect. That means that 0.5 is not really going to affect the fund. It may seem quite small, but you can be talking quite a bit of money.